Hey guys, Novaexplosion. Welcome back to another tier list video. We are doing Tales of Battle Systems. So as you can see, I'm using my face cam because, long story short, I tried it for my playthroughs. It didn't really work out that well. But I figured for tier lists, why not? Because you guys could still see the list. You could see me talk. But we're going to be doing a Tales of tier list. Basically, I was making my action video and I thought, like, man, my honorable mentions is going to be filled with Tales games if I don't limit it. So I had to limit it to one Tales game. But that gave me another idea for a video, and that's going to be talking about Tales of games here for its own video. So I immediately put the games I have not played, which are Destiny 2 and Legendia. These are mobile games. I haven't played them, but they're mobile, so I just put them in that section. But we're going to be talking about all these Tales games here, all the ones I've played. I'm going to be ranking them based on battle systems. So if you remember before Rise, I did a tier list with the Tales games themselves, but this time we're going to be doing battle systems. So, yeah, let me see. I think these are already ordered. Yeah, these are already ordered. Actually, no, they're not, because this is supposed to be last. I should have done this before I started. This one's going to go after Symphonia. First, second, third. That'd be fourth. Symphonia's fifth. Rebirth is sixth? Yeah, Rebirth is sixth, then Legendia, then Abyss. Where's Abyss? This is right there. After Abyss would be Innocence, and then it'd be Vesperia. Yeah, Vesperia, then Dawn of New World came after Vesperia, then we'll do Hearts, then Graces, Zillia 2, then Zestiria, Berseria. Cool, alright. So, again, this is strictly combat. We are talking about the games based on their combat system. That's what we are. So I have God tier, Great tier, Good tier, and Trash tier. Let's just get right into it. We're going to start with Tales of Fantasia. This one is good purely for the idea that it started Tales of. It's the first Tales game, so it's a little bit dated. It's pretty simple. It laid the foundation for Tales of, and I think it did pretty well with that. So I think Tales of Fantasia is a good game. It has some minor annoyances holding it back, like the spells freezing and kind of ruining the flow of combat, basically, but I think it's still a pretty fun combat system, especially when you consider it's the first one. So, really good there. Also, another thing about Fantasia that holds it back is you have one physical fighter for most of the half of the game. You have one physical fighter, and you have 3 mages, so that can also hold it back. And again, magic freezes the screen, so it feels like you're more watching the game than playing it. You might as well be playing a turn-based game. So that kind of holds Fantasia back a bit, but other than that, I think it's a good start to the Tales of series, so I think it's a good start to the battle system. But yeah, let's move on to Destiny. Hang on. Oh, I forgot to divide the Destiny. This is Director's Cut, it looks like. Yeah, we're probably not going to talk about Original Destiny. I'm going to put this at good as well. I was really excited to play the remake for Destiny, and I waited so long. What happened to my window? There we go. I waited so long to play Destiny Director's Cut, and it was really good. I did enjoy it. It had the, what is it, the Team Destiny thing going on. I played a lot like Graces. It was great. I really enjoyed it. It had some things I didn't like about it, like, it still had some of the plague of 2D Tales of. And it wasn't exactly perfect. I think the big thing holding Destiny 2 back was the weakness system. Basically in Zillia 2, they had the weakness system. We'll talk about Zillia 2, don't worry. But I think Destiny had the weakness system as well, and it kind of held the game back a bit when a certain boss resisted or was weak to a certain element, and it felt like you couldn't really effectively combo unless you were abusing those weaknesses. Like, on paper, I could see the appeal, but I don't really like it. I don't like the weakness system at all. It's not as bad in Destiny Director's Cut, but it is there. But Destiny is really fun. Let's talk about some good about Destiny's combat system. I love the CC. CC is great. Graces was goated for introducing CC. So I like the CC system. I like the way the arts, the characters combo, and I really like how even mages like Rudy and Thelia can be really good. So it's just really fun CC system. It's in the good section because it wasn't like the pinnacle of Tales of. But it was really good. I think it was really fun, and I'm glad they brought it, that like they translated it. So I think it was a really fun combat system. Mystic Arts also look amazing in Destiny Director's Cut. They look great. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I think that's it. But yeah, Destiny Director's Cut, good combat system. I really, really enjoyed it. Next up, we are going to be... Sorry. We're going to be talking about Eternia. There's Eternia. Eternia, I'm putting here. So, under Destiny, over Fantasia. I think Eternia is great. Eternia is, like, one of my... It's honestly, like... I don't know if it's underrated, but it's one of my favorite. It's, like, my favorite of the classic Tales of games. The combat isn't really why. The combat is really good, though. I do like, playing as Pharah, and I like, it feels like a predecessor to Symphonia, which it is. But it feels like what Symphonia feels like, in a way, improving on Eternia, sorry. Feels like improving on Eternia, basically, and I really like that. Eternia is the first game to not have the spells freeze to combat, so that's a plus. You got that, and you have 2 mages, and you have a really fun Cramel Cage system. We're not talking about, like, game mechanics, we're just talking about raw combat, but I just thought I'd mention that. But some of the spells look really cool, and it's just, Eternia is, like, really basic, but it's effective. Basic, but effective. It doesn't have the annoyance of the spells freezing. It doesn't have, it's not as clunky as Fantasia and Destiny. I do think that Eternia, the one place it suffers from is it has a couple of, there's a couple of stun lock prone bosses, and that's really the only thing I have against it. That and obviously not being outstanding. Just those 2 things. There's not really much to say on Eternia, honestly. It's really simple, effective, it works. For the time it was made, the combat was really fun. And it only got better over time. And speaking of, we're going to be talking about Symphonia, which is going... Honestly, I want to put it in great, but I'm probably going to put it in good. Over Eternia, under Destiny. Yeah. Symphonia. Oh boy. Where do we start with Symphonia? Symphonia is one of my favorite Tales games. It was my first Tales game. One of my favorite Tales games. I love it. It's in my top 5. I love Symphonia. But we're talking about the combat. And I gotta be honest, combat is one of the weaker things about the game. Like, Symphonia combat is fun. Don't get me wrong. But it's one of the weaker things about the game for sure. It's nothing too crazy. The X-Gem system was really interesting for mixing and matching skills. A good predecessor to future skill systems, which were better. I think the unison attack is like Symphonia's thing, and I think that's fine. Like, comboing up arts together and making combinations, it was a really good start to what we would get in games like Zillia or Arise with Blue Strike. So, Symphonia is good for that. But Symphonia, the combat is honestly the weakest thing about the game entirely. It's not bad. Far from it. It's really fun. It's fun Tales of. Every Tales of game except, like, one of them, you guys probably know which one it is fun in the gameplay department. Every Tales of game is at least fun in the gameplay department, because Tales of, on average, as a series, is really fun. There's just one game that is not fun to play, and you guys might know what that is, or maybe you're going to be surprised. Who knows? But, Symphonia is just average. It's average Tales of. It's fun action combat, but it's really simple. It laid the foundation for future games. It improved on Eternia, but still had some things to overcome. It doesn't have free run, which kind of blows. You have to rely on jumping, kind of like Eternia. But at least in Eternia, you can, like, run through the enemies, like, dash through them to kind of get away from some enemies. But, yeah, Symphonia lacking free run is kind of something it falls behind in, and just not being as refined as the other Tales games. But, yeah, so Symphonia, great game. Love it a lot. Combat's one of the weakest things, but still really fun, to be clear. Alright, we're moving on to Tales of Rebirth. And guys, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I do not think this is biased talking. I am putting this in God tier. Tales of Rebirth was a game that the more I played it, the more I understood its mechanics, the more I learned its mechanics, the more fun it got. Like, it was really good. It was super unique. It was kind of a combination. I feel like a combination of Tales of's TP system and CC system in a way, because you have, like, these... I had to talk about it a bit because it's unique. But you have, like, these 4 diamonds, and you can assign arts there. And basically, you assign an art to your diamond, and those are, like, your base arts. And then when you use a base art, if your Rush Gauge, I think it's called Rush Gauge, it's been a minute. If your gauge on the side of your character is charged up enough, you can link it to an arcane art. So basically, you're essentially setting 2 arts to a control. You're setting 2 arts to right, left, up, and down for a total of 8 arts. 4 of those arts are base arts, but then 4 of them are arcane arts, and you can only use them if your bar is like over halfway filled. You can chain them together. So it is really fun, and also you're giving all your arts different bonus effects. Like some of them, you can make them heal HP, you can make them reduce the cooldown or something. So you have all these different effects in Tales of Rebirth, and it's just really great. The more I messed around with the system, the more fun I had. It was just really great. I really loved it. It was really great, and I can even see the appeal for some mages doing it really effectively. But it also introduced the line system. You can switch lines to get over the whole free running thing, because this game doesn't have free run either. You can switch lines, basically. You could switch lines and better avoid the enemy. It's really fun and really great, and I think it's just super unique. The one thing I don't like about Tales of Rebirth, though, is Mystic Arts are random. Yeah, Mystic Arts are random. They're really cool, but they're random. You have to use them when the enemy is below a certain HP threshold, and I think 2 specific characters like combo for them. Like, I think the one thing Rebirth needs is single Mystic Arts that you can activate on your own. I think that would have set it apart. But overall, I loved the Force Gauge system. I loved the cooling system, because another thing cool about Tales of Rebirth is you can be in cool state, which means that you can't stagger as much, but your arts heal more HP, but your attacks are weaker and your damage is less, but you're taking less damage. Or you can go into heat state where you heal less, because every art heals your HP. It relies a lot on FG and HP regen. If you're in the heat state, you're dealing more damage and staggering more, but you're also taking more damage. So it's a nice risk-reward system. And other than Berseria, it's honestly like the only Tales of game with that kind of system. So it's really fun. I probably would have put this in Great before, but honestly, the more I played Tales of Rebirth, I NG plussed it to do the post-game. I put it in God tier. I think Tales of Rebirth is really fun and really good. But yeah, let's move on. Tales of the Abyss, I'm going to put in Great tier, just so we can start having some Great tiers. I think Tales of the Abyss is really fun. I think Tales of the Abyss is a bit of an odd one, because what it has going for it is like, it's fun Tales of combat, nothing too different from what we're used to, but it has free running, which Symphonia desperately needed. FOF arts as well are probably the best thing about Abyss. Basically, you set up these onyx circles, and depending on the element, some arts can alter into a different elemental skill. It's just really fun to play around with. So like Luke's Fang Blade will go to Lightning Tiger Blade, for example. Super fun. I think other than that, Tales of the Abyss kind of falls into the pitfall of being too, like, nothing too unique. That's the worst I could say about it, honestly. It's really fun Tales of gameplay, but it's not like, compared to the other games, it's not really like super outstanding. It's weird. That's the worst thing I can say about it. So Abyss is gonna go in Great tier. It's not my favorite combat system, but it is really fun, and I feel like it laid the groundwork for future Tales games, especially. Like, it's the first Tales game that really knew it where it was going. So I give it props for that. But yeah, there's not really much to say. Overlimit was introduced here, like, normally, not like Symphonia, where you had to, like, rely on Overlimit for a chance to be put into it. But in Overlimit bar, that's another thing Abyss did that every other Tales game did, except Arise. We'll get there. But yeah, Abyss is fun. Abyss is fun. Nothing, it laid the groundwork. Not one of the best, but it's still a great combat system for laying the groundwork for future games. But yeah, next up we are going to talk about Tales of Innocence. Now, this is the DS version of Innocence, but I played Innocence R, so this is going to be Innocence R. I'm counting this as Innocence R for my ranking, and I'm going to put it in good. I think I'm going to, it's definitely over Fantasia, it's definitely over Eternia. It's definitely not over Destiny. I'm trying to think if this game is over Symphonia or not, because I'm going to put it under Symphonia. Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up if I like it more or less than Symphonia, the gameplay, but Innocence, kind of the same thing. It's got free run, it's got fun gameplay styles, it's got arts, it's got Overlimit, Mystic Arts. It feels a lot like Abyss, but I think Innocence R didn't really introduce much or stand out. It kind of doesn't stand out compared to its contemporaries. like, it has this thing called the rave system, which is the better you do in combat, whether it's like not taking damage, essentially. The better you do, the more bonuses you can get. You can buy these raves and you can get like physical attack boost or like reduced TP cost, stuff like that, which is really cool. But I don't know, I don't think it really added too much compared to other Tales games, which is probably what's holding it back the most. Also about Innocence R is there's this revenge system where if you press the guard button and a boss is attacking you, some attacks you can just counter, which is really cool. I unfortunately didn't make use of it much because I wasn't good at it. Maybe if I got better at that system and made more use of it, maybe Innocence would be it'd be higher than Symphonia probably, but I didn't really make use of it, and that and the rave system, those were like the only two things about Innocence that were unique. So again, I think that kind of makes it good. It's not great, you know? So yeah, Tales of Innocence, that's where I put it. Tales of Vesperia, this is gonna be a really hot take, but I'm putting this in good. Well, under Destiny, under I don't know, man. Putting this right here, yeah, Vesperia goes there. I recently NG plus Vesperia, and yeah, Tales of Vesperia, it's really fun. Don't get me wrong, it's got a lot going for it. It has Overlimit, it has the skill system. I think Vesperia is a game that the more you get into it, you can definitely learn a lot and perfect it. It has a lot of, what's the word? It's a system you can really master, and I think that's great. Vesperia has a couple of things that I'm not the biggest fan of, like enemies getting knocked down and sometimes it's hard to follow up combo, or stuff like early overlimit levels you are able to get staggered, so early overlimit levels are hard to utilize at times. It also takes a while to get going because Vesperia isn't really fun until you get a lot of those early game skills. To be clear, I really like Vesperia. It's great. It's a really good Tales game. It's not my favorite, but I think the combat system is fun. This Tales of games, the mass majority of them, except for that one that we will... Oh, the one I just realized the one... Tales of the Tempest isn't even here. We're going to talk about Tales of the Tempest soon. But, Tales of Vesperia is really fun, but it's not my favorite. It has a couple of shortcomings that hold it back for me, where I just, like, gameplay-wise, I think other games are better. But I'm not going to deny that it has a really, really big learning system. Like, you can really learn this game in and out with all the different skills, and you can get into it, and it's really fun. I'm sure you can, like, master it. But, I don't know. It's not my preferred Tales game, gameplay-wise, but I did really enjoy it, to be clear. But yeah, Tales of Vesperia probably stays good under Destiny over Symphonia. Yeah, it seems good for it. Alright, next up is Dawn of the New World, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm putting this right here. Now, people are gonna be like, Nova, Dawn of the New World's not trash. I think the gameplay is decent. Like, Dawn of the New World falls into another problem of not adding too much. The only thing Dawn of the New World really added was monster collecting. And outside of monster collecting, it also has the Unison, but the Unison feels like dumbed down. Like, it doesn't feel as innovative as the Symphonia one. So, I put it over Eternia. There's not really much special going on here. You can free run. It's Tales of Combat. Like, I don't like this game. I don't like Dawn of the New World. I think it's one of the worst games I've played. But, you'll have fun with the combat system. I'm gonna give it that. You'll have fun with the system. It's just Tales of. It doesn't really do much to add, but I think you'll have a good enough time because it's still Tales of. But it doesn't really add much to make it innovative in a way. But yeah, alright, cool. We're gonna move on to Tales of Hearts R, and I'm putting this one in great. I think I'm putting it under Abyss. Tales of Hearts introduced the cross-chain, I think it's called? Cross-chain system? Basically, you, if you use an art on a character or use an attack, you can, like, teleport instantly to them when you're in the air. You can do aerial follow-ups, or you can, do, like, kind of like Fatal Strikes. I forgot to talk about Fatal Strikes with Vesperia. Fatal Strikes are awesome. Shout out to those in Tales of Vesperia. They're great. But, Tales of Hearts kind of has something similar, like, oh, you can do, like, a follow-up attack, or you can do, like, you can chase enemies down, teleport to them instantly. It also has some touchscreen capabilities that I didn't really make use of. So I think Tales of Hearts is really fast and fluid, and it's great. Some of the characters are fun to play as. I think that's enough for me to put it over the good tier. It is really fun, and it's got some cool stuff going for it. It kind of feels like Innocence R kind of feels like a predecessor to it, because it feels like more of an evolution and more of an innovative Tales game than Innocence R was in the gameplay department. So I think that's great. Tales of Hearts is really fun. I don't really have much to say on it, but it's a really fun system. Now we get on to Tales of Grace's F, and this is going in God tier. Surprise, surprise, this is my favorite Tales game. Just barely my favorite Tales game. The gameplay is fun. I love CC, I love A arts, I love B arts, I love Asbel's fighting style, I love the different... This is one of the Tales games I love playing as every character. They're all really fun. Elith bursts, mystic arts, they're so flashy, excel in the future arc. There's a lot in Grace's F to love. There's just a lot to love. It's a really fun, snappy combat system. Dodging matters. I freaking memorize how to dodge some of the spells of the enemies and stuff. It's crazy, but dodging is fun. Tales of Grace's F is incredibly fun. I honestly have like no complaints with it. Maybe on chaos difficulty it's a little ridiculous, but it's chaos difficulty. We're not going to be too hard on the game because it's chaos mode. But Grace's F is so fun. I love the dodging, I love the arts, I love the blend of A arts and B arts, and I love they scrapped TP. They started CC. For us American players, this was the first game with CC, and I think it's great. But oh, and you get combo Mystic Arts in this game, which will become a staple. Vesperia had one, and in later games made it a staple to get combo Mystic Arts. But this game had... Wait. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. This game does not have combo Mystic Arts. Nova, what are you talking about? It has level 4 Mystic Arts. 4 Mystic Arts per character. It's great. It does not have combo Mystic Arts. Do not listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Tales of Grace's F, really fun. One of my favorite Tales games for a reason. Now, Tales of Xillia, I'm putting this over Grace's. In my recent action video, I think Tales of Xillia is my favorite combat system game. Hello? Thank you. It's my favorite combat system in Tales of. Linking is really fun. You have the characters with their unique perks. Jude's Snap Pivot, Alvin's Guard Break, or Elise's Tipo Drain. She can get TP back and stuff, and Leia can steal items. So, I think that Tales of Xillia is my favorite combat system in Tales of. I love the link arts. I love how unique each character feels. Similar, all games characters feel unique, but Xillia added like another layer of it. Like, oh, every character can do like a different thing, and I think that was really cool. It was really awesome. But that was great. Mystic Arts look amazing, and Jude and Mila have a really sick combo Mystic Art. But yeah, I think Xillia is just really fun link arts and really fun gameplay styles in every character. It also emphasizes you to switch your link partner depending on the situation, so every character had their own bonus, and I think that was really good. So yeah, I talked lyrical about Xillia. Action video I made, go check that out. It's number 2, my number 2 action combat system of all time. And then we get to Xillia 2, and people are gonna be like, Nova, it should just be God tier, right? Wrong. I'm putting Xillia 2 as opposed to where? I think I'm gonna put it around Destiny. Yeah, around Destiny. Xillia 2 is good. I think Xillia 2 is held back by the weakness system. We talked about that with Destiny 2. I think that's really holding Xillia 2 back, because Xillia 2 feels like it relies so much on Luger. The main character has guns, sledgehammers, and dual swords, and it feels like it heavily favors his gameplay style. So I think that's the main thing holding Xillia 2 back. It made it where it was hard to play as the Xillia 1 characters, which I wanted to play as them, especially guys in Musée. They were new to this game. Other than that, it still has all the bells and whistles of Xillia, link arts, characters have their own unique mechanics, like Gaius's countering and retaliation system, and Musée had her whole like emergency warp system, and she was a good caster, so it has all the bells and whistles of Xillia, but I'd rather play Xillia because Xillia didn't have the weakness system plaguing it and making the other characters a nightmare to play as. And people say Xillia's easy and Xillia 2 is actually hard, but I don't know, man. Like, Xillia 1 is sure it's on the easy side, but just play on moderate and hard and you're set. I'd just rather play Zillia 1. And people will also counter and say, oh, Zillia 1 had that counter system where bosses would break out of combos and you couldn't overcombo them. Yeah, but that wasn't like a super big deal compared to the weakness system, I feel. And don't get me wrong, when you get the weakness system, when you use like a weakness combo, it can be really satisfying in Zillia 2, but for my kind of playstyle, it wasn't for me. Zillia 2 is really fun though. You have Chromatus, which is cool, and you have the combo Mystic Arts. I think that's the one thing Zillia 2 excels at over Zillia 1. I think combo Mystic Arts are great. Okay, and now we're gonna talk about Zestiria. Now, Hills of Zestiria. Hills of Zestiria. This is a really hated game. Where do I put Zestiria? I think Zestiria. I think Zestiria is like right there. Yeah, right there. So, Zestiria. Super reliant on Armatization, which is good and bad. I think Armatization's pretty cool, but I also think it's, I don't like how, I think some of the late game and the post game relies on it too much. Like, your characters feel so weak when they're not Armatized. I think that's the one thing holding Zestiria back. That's holding Zestiria back. But other than that, it's really fun. It's the greatest system. It has A arts, it has B arts. The Seraphim are oddly fun to play as. I actually enjoy playing as the Seraphim like Edna, Lila, Mikleo, Zavid, more so than Saray and Rose. Another thing holding Zillia, or I keep saying Zillia, dude, it's because they're both the same starting letter, sort of. But another thing holding Zestiria back is the equipment system. I do not like at all. I think it's pretty bad. I don't like the equipment system, and basically there's a limit, right? So in Zestiria, characters can only do 4 actions unless you get more actions. Like you can get like a 5th action or a 6th action, like 4 actions. There's a skill called, I think it's Infinity. It's been a while since I played, so I might be wrong. But there's a skill where you have no limit to your art count outside of your SC. So unless you have SC, you can use however many arts you want. And getting that skill is a pain. You have to learn the equipment system. But without that skill, you start to see the limitations of Zestiria's system. Mostly playing as Saray and Rose. It's why I actually like playing as the Seraphim more, because you can spell cancel. Spell canceling is pretty easy to do in Zestiria. So I enjoyed playing as like Edna and like comboing and then casting a spell and guarding and then continuing that combo. It was just so much better. So yeah, Zestiria, it's fun. It's a good system, but it's not a great system. It goes above Symphonia, between Vesperia and Symphonia. That's where I play. Alright, 2 more, guys. We got Berseria. I think I'm going to put this at the top of Great Tier. I think Great Tier is where I put that. Wait, do I like Berseria more than Rebirth? Hold up. I don't know, actually. Because, like, I'm asking myself if I like Berseria more than Rebirth. You know what? I'm moving Rebirth down. Because I like Berseria more than Rebirth's combat, just barely. But, Berseria is another one of my favorite Tales games. Basically my number 1. Number 2, right below Graces. They're toe-to-toe. I love Berseria. Its combat system is really fun. It's got, the break souls are great. I love, the different break souls of the characters. Velvet's Claw, Rokuro's counter system, Aizen's dragon attacks, and Magilu's spell absorber, etc. It's all great. I like the art trees. You can make your own art tree, and it's really great. And as opposed to Zestiria, where there was a 4 art count limit, in this game you're using the soul system. You're doing combos based on your souls. You can get souls by getting stuns and doing status elements. It could be a little over-reliant on the soul system. Like, sometimes if you get like 1 to 2 souls, you can kind of get into a rough spot in Berseria, but it also has a bit of a risk-reward system. Not as much as Rebirth, but it's there. Where do you want to sacrifice this? You have 3 souls, right? I'm painting you a scenario. You have 3 souls. Do you want to sacrifice this 1 soul, but then you'll be left with 2, and you have to hope that you get more? Or do you want to save that soul until you have like 4 to 8? You can have up to 8 souls. So it's a bit of a risk-reward system. You have to really manage your souls and choose how you want to use them. And I like it for that. I think it's great. And every character feels really different to play as. Mystic Arts are great, and combo Mystic Arts for every duo like Eleanor, Magilu, Velvet, and Laphicet. It's great. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Berseria has a really great combat system. It's a bit on the easy side. It's probably one of the easier Tales games, but You can play on moderate or hard, and it's still kind of easy. It's definitely one of the easier Tales games, but when is a game being easy? Stop it from being fun, right? Like, I still have fun with this game. Talking about it makes me want to play it again, but I still have fun with Berseria despite it being on the easy side. I don't really care. It doesn't matter how easy a game is, it can still be fun. But Berseria is great. And finally, we're going to be talking about Tales of Arise, and I'm putting this in God tier, just under Graces and Xillia. I have not played the game in a while. I only played it the once, not counting Beyond the Dawn once and the game once. Like, completely. I played like half of the PS4 version, but that's neither here nor there. Tales of Arise is really fun. It's got boost strikes that look amazing, and I loved all the different playstyles of the characters, like Dohalim, Rimwell, Kisara. I didn't really like Kisara much, but I mentioned her. Alphen, Shion, Law. I liked all their playstyles. I think the one thing I don't like about Arise is how Overlimit works. It's not necessarily, you don't activate it on your own. It's sort of like Symphonia, but it's easier to proc in Arise, so it's not too much of a leap. But Mystic Arts look great, and I think Arise was just a step in the right direction. It has a perfect dodging. You can dodge roll, and you can like jump and use aerial arts, and the combo, mixing the combo arts is fun. And there are people who complain about like, oh, you can't stagger bosses in Tales of Arise and stuff, and yeah, that's a little annoying, but I don't know. I think it kind of maybe emphasizes the perfect dodging mechanic, but I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, I wish you could stagger bosses, sure, like most Tales games. I feel like it's a Tales thing to stagger them, but I don't think it holds Arise back too much, but overall, Arise is a really fun system. It's definitely a step in the right direction for the series. They probably have some tweaks to make, but I mean, they will, and they'll get better. I'm trying to think of what else about Arise I really like. I just really like it. It's really fun. Tales of Arise is fun. We have to play this game again. We have to do an NG Plus of it sometime in the future because I really want to play it again. But yeah, alright. We have one more game I'm going to add here. I'm going to do a fancy little transition. Here it is, Tales of the Tempest. I thought they added it. I didn't look carefully enough. Trash tier is designated for Tales of the Tempest. Why? This game is just not fun. I could not find any good things to say about the combat system, and I kind of feel bad because I think those limitations were due to the DS, but it's just not fun. It is a clunky mess. It actually has the lane system that Rebirth had, but it's just, everything just feels so clunky. Some of the arts do, and like, you can barely stagger bosses, it feels like, and it kind of just comes down to attack the enemy until they die. It's just a clunky mess, which is what's really bringing it down. It only allows 3 party members also, which is a downgrade compared to every other Tales game. It's just a clunky mess is what it comes down to. I can rave about the gameplay and stuff, but what it really comes down to is it's just clunky, and it's not the game's fault because it's a DS game. That's probably has a lot to do with it, but I don't know. It's just a clunky. So I put it in the trash tier. There's just nothing fun about it, and yeah. So here are our Tales of Battle System tier list. We have these that I have not played or they're mobile. Trash is specifically for Tempest, so I'm going to name it Tempest. Sorry, Tempest. This has to be that way. So for the good tier, we have Destiny, Director's Cut specifically. If I were to put Destiny 1, like the gameplay for Destiny 1, I put it with Fantasia because it's basically similar. I put it like that. Destiny DC, Xillia 2, Vesperia, Zestiria, Symphonia, Innocence, Symphonia 2, Eternia, and Fantasia, in that order. Like, this is my favorite of the good, and this is my least favorite of them. Great, we have Berseria, Rebirth, Abyss, and Hearts R. And for God, we have Xillia, Graces, and Arise. But yeah, there it is. So that's my gameplay battle system Tales of tier list. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Let me know what else you want to see Tales of related. We'll do a lot of Tales of stuff. I love this series. I can't shut up about it. So we'll do a lot more about this series, or we'll do a lot more ranking stuff in general. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.